Yeah, good afternoon, all of you. So we will be continuing with today's lecture. So the objective of today's lecture, in last lecture we started with dispersion losses. So today we will be studying in detail about intermodal delay or modal dispersion, and then and it takes place in case of a multimode fiber. So one ray will be the slowest and ray will be the fastest. Okay, so considering the slowest and the fastest ray, we will be deriving the delay difference between those two rays. Okay, and then based on whatever formula we will be getting, we will be solving a few numericals based on that. So derivation is also asked in the exams and numericals also are asked in the exam. So today you will be able to deduce the relation between the delay in case of the slowest and the fastest mode in case of multimode fiber. So you should be having your book with you, your pen or pencil, whichever, because some formulas later on, some cases I will give you, which is not there in any of the books, neither senior nor Kizar, neither it might be there in my typed note. It is there in my handwritten notes, which I have hidden. Okay, so the only source you have for that formula is your own handwritten notes. Okay, so that's why you should be having that. You will not get it in Google also when you type it. So if that problem comes, numerical comes in the exam, you cannot solve it. So better you write it down. I'll try to enable the handwritten notes in the Moodle, but students usually don't. वो लोग digitized ही नहीं पढ़ते, तो handwritten वो formula क्या देखेंगे for that particular topic. By the time you prepare, you almost forget it. But at least right now I'm telling you, you write it down. We will do the derivation. Okay, so let us start with the lecture today. So this was the chart of the dispersion. Okay, so dispersion was of three types: intermodal, intramodal, and depolarization mode dispersion. So we will be studying today intermodal dispersion. Now intermodal dispersion takes place in case of multimode fiber, where I have number of modes propagating in the fiber. So एक मोड जल्दी पहुंच जाएगा, एक लेट पहुंचेगा. So I'm trying to calculate the delay difference between the slowest and the fastest, not all the modes. Okay, so the diagram, so write down what is the question that you are supposed to do is you are deriving the delay difference between the slowest and the fastest mode in case of multi-mode fiber. Okay, so to begin with, I will be also dictating few sentences which you will be writing. So this is the diagram. So this is my fiber. Okay, so this is my core. This is the cladding. So the ray is entering. Okay, and it is propagating through the meridional path. So one ray propagates. I have only shown two. It's multimode fiber, but we have not shown many rays. So एक fastest ray कौन सा होगा जो सबसे कम distance cover करेगा? So directly passing through the axis, the ray, that ray I'm calling as the axial ray. So that will be the fastest ray. And here, see, there will be many meridional ray. Not all will touch the cladding and it will propagate. So I have taken the second ray as the extreme meridional ray, जो exactly cladding को touch करेगा, वापस से reflect होगा, again the second cladding, and so on. In between, I might have some other rays which can propagate like this. यहाँ से जाके ऐसे भी जा सकता है, but I am not considering that. Okay, so I am considering the extreme meridional ray and the axial ray. So extreme meridional ray will take the longest path, and the axial ray will take the shortest path, and that's the difference which we will find out. कि ये shortest path axial ray है, तो उसको कितना time लगा to reach the fiber end, and the extreme meridional ray which is covering larger cross section, it is taking more, the path length is more, उसको कितना time लगा output पे पहुंचने के लिए. So quickly draw this diagram. This is theta 2, this is theta, this is phi c, the critical angle, core refractive index N1, cladding refractive index N2. And I am considering the case of a multimode step index fiber. So this is the path taken by the axial and an extreme.
मैम आप व्हाइट बोर्ड शेयर कर रहे हो क्या?
हाँ,
पीपीटी दिख रहा है।
PPT नहीं दिख रहा है,
पीपीटी दिख रहा है मैम।
स्लाइड नहीं दिख रहा था। कैन यू सी?
आप कुछ लिख रहे हो क्या स्क्रीन पे?
किस पे हूँ?
आप स्क्रीन पे कुछ लिख रहे हो क्या?
नो,
नो ना, ओके सॉरी मैम।
but you can see the PPT, no, students?
यस मैम।
No, I am not writing anything. Okay, so just draw this diagram and then I will dictate few sentences. So this is the path taken by the axial and an extremely meridional ray in a perfect multimode step index fiber. So we are not going for multimode graded index fiber. And remember, why are we doing this? We want to estimate the pulse broadening that takes place due to intermodal dispersion. Ideally, all the pulses should reach at the output at the same time. But due to dispersion, one pulse is reaching early, the other pulse is reaching late. And we want to calculate that pulse broadening. And how I can calculate pulse broadening? By finding out the time taken by that particular ray. तो अगर T1 एक ray ले रहा है, T2 दूसरा ले रहा है, so T1 minus T2, the difference in the time, okay, will give me the delay difference between the two rays. So our aim is to calculate the time taken by each ray to reach at the output. So here we have the axial ray. So the axial ray will take minimum time. So I can write it T minimum. The extreme meridional ray will take maximum time. So I can take it as T maximum. Or delay difference hai usko, that will be T max minus T minimum. So that is our aim, to find out the delay difference between your T max and your T minimum, and then we will be doing the derivation accordingly. Once you finish the diagram, you let me know. I will be dictating few sentences. Okay, so I am dictating. Using the ray theory model, the fastest and the slowest modes, using the ray theory model, the fastest and the slowest modes propagating in the step index fiber, the fastest and the slowest modes propagating in the step index fiber may be represented by the axial ray and the extreme meridional ray. Using the ray theory model, the fastest and the slowest modes propagating in the step index fiber may be represented by the axial ray and the extreme meridional ray. As both rays are traveling at the same velocity, within the constant refractive index fiber core, as both the rays are traveling at the same velocity within the constant refractive index fiber core, the delay difference is directly related, the velocity is same. No ray can travel at a different velocity. It is the speed of light at which they are transmitting. So both the rays are traveling at the same velocity. Also, the refractive index is constant. So that's we are mentioning. Within the constant refractive index fiber core, so the delay difference is directly related. Can you tell me? It will be directly related to what?
Part difference.
It will be directly related to their respective path length within the fiber. Velocity same hai, refractive index same hai. So sirf the path length taken by each ray. So the delay difference will depend on that path length. Okay, so both the rays are traveling at the same velocity within a constant refractive index core. So the delay difference is directly related to their respective path length within the fiber. Okay, so the next sentence, hence the time, I'll pick up the first ray, that is the axial ray. Hence the time taken for the axial ray, hence the time taken for the axial ray to travel along a fiber of length L, hence the time taken for the axial ray to travel along a fiber of length L gives the minimum delay time T minimum. So what will be T minimum? Your formula of time. Anybody remembers? Hence the time taken for the axial ray to travel along a fiber of length L gives the minimum delay time T minimum. And what is time? Physics, time is equal to? What is the formula of time? Time का क्या formula है? Time is what? Class 9th physics. I think 5th also, 5th standard onwards. What is T, time?
Speed by distance.
Distance. Time is equal to?
Distance by speed.
Distance by speed. So time is distance upon, here we'll take the word velocity. Time is given by distance upon velocity. Okay, now distance is already mentioned. It is L. Okay, now what will be velocity in considering the fiber? Velocity of light, speed of light in the fiber. First formula जो हमने पढ़ा था refractive index का, if you remember, that was the very first formula I had given you. Refractive index, definition of refractive index. So from there, what will be the velocity?
C by N1.
C by N1. So it is C by N1. Okay. I'll go to the next slide. Okay, so T minimum is distance upon velocity. So it is L upon C by N1. So I can write it as L N1 upon C. Give this equation number 1. Now we are writing N1 and C for the first time. Okay, so whenever, which you usually don't do it, but which is a requirement of doing a derivation, whenever you are introducing the term for the first time, you need to write what is that term. N1 might be something for you, I might mean N1 as something. So you write down where N1 is the refractive index of the core and c is the velocity of light in vacuum. Okay, so N1 is the refractive index of the core and C is the velocity of light in the vacuum. So this is with respect to the axial ray. So I have T minimum. Okay, now considering the second ray, that is the extreme meridional ray. So write down the extreme meridional ray exhibits maximum delay time T max. So T max के लिए भी distance upon velocity है. But it is now not L. The formula of time remains the same, distance upon velocity. Velocity ठीक है, c by n1 ही है, the ray is propagating in the core. But what will be the distance? Distance, if you see the diagram that you have drawn, meridional ray, see the diagram, the ray with the axis, it is making an angle theta, and if L is the length of the ray, so distance क्या होगा? How will this formula change? ये तो सीधा L था, but here it is with an angle now. So what will be T max? Anybody? The numerator part. Only the numerator part will change for T max, for meridional ray. Please don't remain silent, Baba. ये simple geometry है. Yes, Vidit? Couldn't hear you. You're speaking anything?
Ma'am, L cos theta.
L by cos theta. Okay. So for extreme meridional ray, I have dictated the sentence. The extreme meridional ray exhibits the maximum delay time T max, which is given by L upon cos theta, and velocity remains the same, C upon N1. So the formula comes out to be L N1. हाँ
मैम ये
बोलो.
हेलो
हाँ
ये
बोलो.
L by cos theta सिर्फ एक रिफ्लेक्शन को कंसीडर कर
हाँ
रहा है
एक
ना,
ही रिफ्लेक्शन को कंसिडर कर रहे हैं.
बट मैम बहुत सारा हो सकता है ना रिफ्लेक्शन.
हाँ वो हम नहीं कर रहे हैं अभी, बहुत सारा ही रिफ्लेक्शन होगा. There is a formula also to calculate number of reflection. I'll give you that later on. Actually, it is not a part of the course, but yes, we do have a small numerical on that. So that there you can calculate how many times the ray will be reflected. Okay, so if time permits today, I will give you that problem. Yes, so give it equation number 2. T max. So I have T minimum, axial ray ka minimum distance. I have T max, the meridional ray ka time. Now write down, using Snell's law of refraction at the core cladding interface. Using Snell's law of refraction at the core cladding interface, sin phi c, the critical angle jo bhi hai, using Snell's law of refraction at the core cladding interface, sin phi c is equal to n2 by n1, which is equal to cos theta. Using Snell's law of refraction at the core cladding interface, sin phi c is equal to n2 by n1, which is equal to cos theta. Give it equation number 3. Now here we are introducing N2 for the first time, where N2 is the refractive index of the cladding. Okay, now from this equation number 3, you take the value of cos theta and substitute in equation number 2. So substitute cos theta from equation 3 in equation number 2 and see what you are getting T max as. Quickly do it. यहाँ से equation 3 से cos theta का value लो, which is n2 by n1. Okay, and put it in equation number 2 and get T max. let your brain cells work, your fingers work. Otherwise, you won't be able to use it anywhere, think anywhere. Okay, so T max, you should be getting L N1 square upon C N2. Just tell me whether you are getting this or not.
Yes, ma'am.
And give it equation number 4. Okay, so मेरे पास T max है, मेरे पास T mean है, दोनों मिल गए. So now I can find out the delay difference. So write down the delay difference delta TS. इसको डेल्टा बोलते हैं ना ये सिंबल को. This one. The delay difference delta TS between the extreme meridional ray and the axial ray is obtained by subtracting equation 1 from 4. The delay difference between the extreme meridional ray and axial ray is obtained by subtracting equation 1 from 4. Okay, so delta TS is equal to T max minus T mean. Okay, which is equal to ln1 square upon cn2. ये जो मेरा T max आया, and this is my T mean. So from here I am taking n1 square upon n2 common. Okay, so I am left with n1 minus n2 upon n1. Just see this, all these arrangements. Which to take common, which not to take common. Is this right? Now my delta, when it is suppose very small, so I can take n1 minus n2 upon n1 as delta. So ये जो part है, I am substituting it as delta. So the delay difference is approximately equal to ln1 square delta upon cn2. See, in one question they can tell you derive the delay difference delta tau s as this. So you have to stop till this particular point, but they might give you another variation of the formula. So for that variation we will be working now. So finish till this point. All of you, what you do is this equation ln1 square upon cn2, या हमने ये इक्वेशन था उसमें हमने ln1 square upon cn2 कॉमन लिया. Okay, now what you do is instead of taking ln1 square upon cn2, I hope you are listening to what I am telling, otherwise the things goes in waste. Instead of taking this part common, this I had already given to you, so it was easy for you to take it common. What you do is you take ln1. This is another way in which I can write the formula. That's why I'm doing it. You take ln1 upon c as common. And then what will be inside the bracket?
n1 by n2 minus 1.
n1 by n2 minus 1. Just see it properly. मैंने ln1 upon c लिया है. ये सेकेंड टर्म में n2 नहीं है. अच्छा, I think तुमने क्या बोला? n1 upon n2 minus 1. Okay. Who was that?
Abhinav.
Okay, n1 upon n2 minus 1. Okay, so that n minus 1 के जगह पे I am taking an LCM. So I am writing N1 minus N2 upon N2. Yes, can I write it in this way also, Abhinav?
Yes, ma'am.
N1 minus N2 minus 1. तो मैंने वो -1 के जगह पे I want to fit in delta. So मुझे relative index difference चाहिए. So that's why I have taken LCM. So N1 minus N2 upon N2. Now usually if you see ये जो है डेल्टा इज मच लेस देन 1, तो हमने क्या किया था, डेल्टा का फॉर्मूला n1 माइनस n2 अपॉन n1 ले लिया. बट इफ यू सी वी हैव डन मेनी प्रॉब्लम्स वेयर यू हैव सीन कि रिलेटिव इंडेक्स जो n1 और n2 है, देयर इज अ वेरी स्मॉल डिफरेंस. तो इफ वी आर ट्राइंग टू इक्वेट, सी ओरिजिनल फॉर्मूला क्या है, n1 स्क्वायर माइनस n2 स्क्वायर अपॉन n1 स्क्वायर. But since the value of delta is very small, the relative index difference is very small, we equated it. That's why it is approximately equal to. So what I do is, instead of this particular formula, what I say is, again, when delta is much less than 1, I can take the value of delta as given by n1 minus n2 upon n2. So again, you write down as delta is much less than 1, I can approximate the value of delta to n1 minus n2 upon n2. बहुत कम डिफरेंस है. सो वेदर आई डिवाइडेड बाय n1 और आई डिवाइडेड बाय n2, उतना फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा in the value of delta, and that's why it is an approximation. So what I do is, what I get in this particular formula is, when I substitute, so delta tau s, I get it as ln1 c upon into delta. Okay. So in one of the numerical, agar sirf delay difference pucha, you are free to do all. But if they tell you derive delay difference as this set of formula, so you stop at this. If they give you कि नहीं delay difference, usually ये वाला पूछते हैं कि the delay difference between the fastest and the slowest mode is given by ln1 delta upon c. So then you need to do this arrangement. Okay, so अगर ये वाला पूछा, then you have to go one step ahead. Okay, now value of delta already you know in terms of NA. So if they expect you to give the formula of tau TS in terms of NA, तो फिर delta के जगह पे you have to replace it by NA. So now what is the relation between NA and delta? So NA is equal to N1 square root of 2 delta. This is the formula that we have studied. So NA is equal to N1 times square root of 2 delta. Okay, so delta के जगह पे I have to use this particular relation. So in that case, अभी मुझे delta चाहिए, so I have to square it out to remove the square root. I hope things are clear what I am trying to say. I'll go to the next slide. So I have rearranged equation 5. So I get this particular term where I have approximated delta now to n1 minus n2 upon n2. Now substituting for delta. Okay, so delta, I gave you the relation NA is equal to n1 square root of 2 delta. So your delay difference is approximately equal to L NA square upon 2 n1 C. So you have 3 variations of the same formula. Whichever one is asked, अगर कुछ नहीं भी पूछा, then you are free to derive any one of them. But whichever specific out of these 3, whichever specific they have asked, you have to reach to that particular point, because all NA, delta, N1, C and all are interrelated with each other. Write down this formula. I will explain you what is RMS input impulse response. So in that, rho TS is given approximately equal to ln1 delta upon 2 root 2 C or in terms of NA. So this is what is RMS response. I will explain you. So just write down this particular formula. The RMS pulse response of a multimode step index fiber is given by rho S, if whatever you call it as rho S, which is given by this. Now in the next slide, I will explain you what is RMS impulse response. So यहाँ तक book में है, इसके बाद कोई भी book में नहीं है. Okay, so you need to concentrate on that, and without knowing that, you will not be able to solve any numerical.
मैम वो सी रूट के अंदर है या फिर रूट के बाहर?
Yes, be little loud.
In that rho S formula मैम,
हाँ,
सी रूट के अंदर है या रूट के बाहर है?
रूट के अंदर है. 4√3 N1C.
ओके.
वो डेल्टा को Na से रिप्लेस किया ना. So √3 remained as √3 only. Okay, both only that 2 factor came over here. Okay, now see, when I am talking of pulse broadening, okay, I'll go to the next slide. So pulse broadening will depend upon different cases of input signal. So I have an optical fiber. Okay, so ये optical fiber है. Okay, so one pulse is at the input and the other pulse is at the output, and there is widening or broadening of the pulse tape that takes place. But when I am talking of a digital pulse, I have two cases of input signal. One is my single rectangular pulse, which all of us know, single rectangular pulse. So what happens is this rectangular pulse, ये मेरा एक time duration है. Passing through the optical fiber, what has happened is the ray has broadened. Okay, so I calculate the time difference. So delta T, if you say it is this T2 minus T1. The second case of pulse, I have a Gaussian shaped pulse. Now, what is the Gaussian shaped का nature कैसा है? ऐसा nature है. Okay, so this is my Gaussian shaped pulse, and again it passes through the fiber, and again the broadening of fiber of the pulse takes place when it comes out after the fiber. So then again I have to see the pulse width here and the pulse width here. Okay, now I will dictate to you some formulas. So first case I am taking of rectangular pulse. Okay, so rectangular pulse, for your understanding. So I'll just draw the rectangular pulse. So suppose this is my input pulse width, which is T. Okay, so this is my input pulse T, and it has gone through the optical fiber, and at the output, suppose I have the pulse width now as 2T. Okay, don't say 2TQ, 3TQ. This is just an example. The pulse width has broadened and it became, suppose, 2T. This is my input and this is my output. Okay, so your pulse dispersion delta T. So my pulse dispersion delta T is equal to 2T minus T, which is equal to T. Okay, so just a simple example to show you. So this is 2T minus T, which is equal to T. ये है pulse dispersion. Now, what happens in case of this is, अगर over ये pulse broadening हो गया, तो what happens is the adjacent pulse, I'm just explaining you, the adjacent pulse may overlap with each other. Okay, so यहाँ पे intersymbol interference होता है. Okay, and we need to avoid this ISI. Okay, so ISI should not be there, because if ISI is present, I cannot make out whether that pulse is 1 or 0. So here, please write down the formula. Bit rate, please write down BIT bit, RATE bit rate, that I am writing as BT, is less than or equal to 1/2T. bit rate BT, this is the first case of rectangular pulse. So bit rate, considering all the Shannon theorem, channel capacity, everything. So the formula directly is there with you. So bit rate is less than or equal to 1 upon 2t. Remember, this we are considering for non-overlapping pulse. My pulse is not overlapping. Okay, if it is overlapping ISI hai, I actually cannot get the figure of bit rate. So this is for non-overlapping pulse. Okay, so bit rate is equal to less than or equal to 1 upon 2t. And then there is, when I talk about rectangular pulse, you might have studied in DCOM, we have RZ and NRZ. Both are rectangular pulse. Okay, so for when I am considering in the question, तुमको तो पहले identify करना है कि Gaussian shaped pulse है या rectangular pulse है. Rectangular pulse है तो उसमें RZ है या NRZ है. If nothing is specified, you will calculate for both. If any one is specified RZ or NRZ, then accordingly you will do your calculation. So this is your bit rate, which is less than or equal to 1 upon 2t. Now, what is the relation between your bit rate and your bandwidth? So, can I rub this off? You have written this? Yes or no? You have finished writing this?
Yes, ma'am.
Sadhanand ka ho gaya, so I assume pure class ka ho gaya. Okay, so for rectangular pulse, when I have the NRZ data that is transmitted, so NRZ ke liye your bit rate, okay, so I'm writing BR, bit rate is equal to 2 times the bandwidth. You can see an NRZ pulse and you can calculate, don't ask me now why. Okay, so bit rate is equal to 2 times the bandwidth. And for the case of RZ, return to 0 pulse, your bit rate is equal to bandwidth. Okay, so this formula you have to remember. ये book में नहीं दिया हुआ है because this is the basic prerequisite which you are actually supposed to know. So book में they have directly dealt with NRZ data, RZ data, Gaussian shaped pulse, but I am giving you the background. So bit rate is equal to 2 times the bandwidth. If I have an NRZ data transmitted, bit rate is equal to bandwidth when I have an RZ data transmitted. So यहाँ पे अगर 4 Mbps है bit rate, okay, megabits per second. So don't go for converting all these things directly. Bandwidth will be 4 megahertz. Okay, और कुछ तुम्हें ज़्यादा नहीं करना है. Don't go for anything. So 4 megabits per second. If for this case, bit rate is equal to bandwidth. So bit rate is given in bits per second. Okay, so अगर 4 megabits per second है, so your bandwidth directly will be 4 megahertz. In case of your RZ, NRZ, then you can double it and make it 8 megahertz, the bandwidth. So this is how directly you will convert the bit rate into bandwidth. और किसी से divide, nothing. Don't go for all these confusions. So before starting the numerical only, I am telling you कि अगर 4 Mbps है and it is equal to bit rate, it is equal to bandwidth. So it is directly you take it as 4 megahertz. Okay, so this was the first case where I had a rectangular pulse. तो तुम्हें सिर्फ वो bit rate BT is less than or equal to 1 upon 2t याद रखना है. Okay, and remember, in question it should be specified for non-overlapping pulse or no ISI present, then only you can apply that particular formula. And then for RZ, this is the formula or relation between bit rate and bandwidth, and NRZ, and for RZ this is the relation, bit rate is equal to bandwidth. So this is your first case. The second case is your Gaussian shaped pulse. Now I have just before the lecture I took a Gaussian shape from one of the Google image. ये FFT कुछ मत देखना. Okay, so this is my ये वाला नीचे वाला, suppose you consider, I just so that I get a proper shape और वो sine wave या ऐसा ना दिखे. It's a Gaussian shaped pulse. Okay, don't consider any of this thing. Okay, And here I have wavelength on this axis, and this is the magnitude, okay, the power you can say. So this is suppose my input pulse and this is my output pulse. So I am transmitting a Gaussian shaped signal and I am receiving a Gaussian shaped signal. So at 50%, ये जो है 0.5%, okay, of the signal, suppose you can draw it because ये कहीं नहीं मिलेगा. I am marking it as sigma I, and again this is again at 50% ना 0.5 और ये 1 है इधर. I have taken the blue one as output क्योंकि वो थोड़ा चौड़ा है करके. It was a waveform of some other diagram, and this is suppose sigma 0. Now what is sigma I, sigma 0? I will take. Just draw this diagram. Case 2 of a Gaussian shaped pulse. This is my input signal. It goes through a fiber. तुम लोग इसको adjacent भी draw कर सकते हो. एक के नीचे एक ना भी draw करो. Okay. This is sigma I. This is sigma O. So what is sigma I? So sigma I is called as the. Hitesh is entering now. 1 minute, 15 minutes is left. I'm not admitting anybody now. Okay, where sigma I am dictating about sigma I is the input RMS pulse width for Gaussian shaped pulse. Okay, so sigma I, I'm talking of sigma I, is the input pulse width for Gaussian shaped pulse, and accordingly your sigma 0 is equal to output RMS pulse width. So this RMS word is important when I'm talking of a Gaussian shaped curve. So output RMS pulse width for a Gaussian shaped, so that you can write it. So once you know what is sigma I and what is sigma O, so write down RMS pulse dispersion is given by, your RMS pulse dispersion is given by sigma total, which is equal to square root of, रेक्टेंगुलर में कैसा सीधा सीधा सब्ट्रैक्ट हो गया था, यहाँ पे नहीं है वैसा. सो सिग्मा टोटल इज इक्वल टू स्क्वायर रूट ऑफ सिग्मा 0 स्क्वायर माइनस सिग्मा I स्क्वायर. Okay, and in this case the bit rate BR, this is the maximum bit rate only. Okay, so the bit rate max is given by, formula alag hai, 0.2 upon sigma t. मैंने sigma t कैलकुलेट कर लिया है, sigma total, okay, and your bit rate max is given by 0.2 upon sigma t. Okay, and sigma t अगर तुमको input and output RMS pulse width दिया गया है, so you calculate it by this particular formula. But the RMS pulse broadening, जो delay difference हमने निकाला अभी, the previous formula, so उससे sigma t, I'm writing it down, you write it properly. Sigma t is given by the delay difference जो हमने delta tau s निकाला, so that is given by delta tau s upon 2 root 3. This is all formulas which are there and which will be coming. Where delta tau is the delay difference, ये जो हमने अभी निकाला. Okay. So these are some different sets of formulas which we will be requiring. Why the attendance is less today? Placement है क्या? विवेक?
No, ma'am.
ऐसे ही.
I don't know, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so whenever the questions on this delay difference आया तो पहले तुम लोग identify करो कि rectangular pulse बोला है question में. They will not specify directly, so some words will be there. Okay, so we will solve quite a few of them. So I'll dictate the first one today. So can I clean the screen? If Sadanand bolega yes ma'am. I'll give marks only to him then. Okay. So this was quite often asked. इसको अच्छे से solve करो. You can solve many numericals if you are able to solve this particular one. So I'm dictating the question. A 6 kilometer optical link. A 6 kilometer optical link consists of multimode step index fiber. Okay, consists of multimode step index fiber with a core refractive index of 1.5 and a relative index difference matlab delta. Okay, and a relative index difference, so I am writing delta as 1%. Okay, a 6 kilometer optical link consists of a multimode step index fiber with a core refractive index of 1.5 and a relative refractive index difference of 1%. Estimate, first one, estimate the delay difference. Estimate the delay difference between the slowest and the fastest mode of the fiber. Estimate the delay difference between the slowest and the fastest mode at the fiber output. Delay difference between the slowest and the fastest mode at the fiber output. The second B part is the RMS pulse broadening. Estimate the, so estimate pehla wala hai, the delay difference between the slowest and the fastest mode at the fiber output. The second part is the RMS pulse broadening due to intermodal dispersion. The third part is the maximum bit rate. The maximum bit rate that may be obtained. Third part, the maximum bit rate that may be obtained without substantial error on the link. The maximum bit rate that may be obtained without substantial error on the link, and the fourth one is the bandwidth length product corresponding to case C. It is important to write the sentence, otherwise गड़बड़ हो जाएगा. See, estimate the delay difference between the slowest and the fastest mode at the fiber output. Second one, the RMS pulse broadening due to intermodal dispersion on the link. The third one, the maximum bit rate that may be obtained without substantial error on the link. And the fourth one is the bandwidth length product corresponding to C. So bandwidth length product में कुछ नहीं है, length of the fiber specified है, and bandwidth you are calculating from bit rate, okay, and just bandwidth or length का product. Okay, so you can start solving. I will take up the solution in next class, but you can solve it so that you come to know where you have gone wrong, but please solve it.